So let's start with the bent wood frame of the chair. We'll switch back to the left view. And in this case, we're going to use a different technique. Essentially, what we're going to do is we're going to draw a spline which follows an element of the bent wood frame. And then we're going to offset it and then extrude it. So we'll start here by going to the Create panel and then to Shapes. And we use actually a line tool to draw the beginning of a spline. So I'm going to start down here, and I'm going to click my first point right along the sort of ground level, if you would, of the chair. And as I draw this, you'll see here that I'm not trying to follow my curves. So I'm just trying to pick up the important point where the curve kind of changes direction. And then I'll finish this piece right up here because the rest of the frame picks up with another piece of wood. Okay, so once that's done, you'll go to the Modify tab, go into the line and choose Vertex. So now what we'll do is we'll select all the vertices, so we make a nice big selection like that, and we'll right click and we'll go to Bezier Corner. So this is a type of vertex which allows us to control the curvature of the line or spline at each vertex using a Bezier handle. So you can see these Bezier handles appear here, okay, between our vertices. So what we need to do there is make sure we're in Select and Move. Okay, we can choose now a vertex and select the Bezier handle and start to drag it down. Now often these Bezier handles will just be there to control your curvature, and your curvature that you want is actually close to just being a tangent. So just continue with this. Note that you can just move side to side, or you can also move to shorten, okay, depending on how your curve appears. So I'm going to go and do this for the entire spline, and you see that that works reasonably well, and sometimes you may need to actually reposition your vertex because you didn't quite get it right the first time. And that one, we'll leave that one okay. And this one will move here, that, and this one here, there. Okay, now once we're ready to outline, we'll have to switch here into spline mode and select the entire spline because we want to outline the entire spline. And we'll go into the panel here, and we'll see here that there is Outline tool plus a measurement next to it, which is much easier to use. So I'll type in a distance here of 1. And you see here it has outlined the entire spline. So I'm going to move in here because I'd like to get this rounded edge here. And the way I'm going to do that is to go to the segment mode, select that segment, and first thing I'll do is I'm going to refine that segment. So refining it means adding another vertex. So I'll switch here into vertex mode, select that vertex and move it. So that kind of gives me a not too bad representation. Now let's look here. Notice that this particular vertex here has only one Bezier handle. And that's because it was on the edge. And so what I'm going to do here is first I'm going to turn this into a corner, which really has no handles, and then switch it back again to Bezier Corner. So you see here now that I now have both, and I can now manipulate both. And I'll do this to the same on the other side. So corner, Bezier Corner, and then do the manipulation here. And maybe that's a little too far away, so I'll move it. And just repeat this on the lower section here. So we go to segment, we select, we go to refine, and click on the segment, and go to vertex, right, and choose the vertex we just created and move it. Oops, seems to be two vertices there. So yeah, let's fix that because that's no good. Choose the two vertices and click weld, and go back and choose it again, and now there should only be one there. So the same process for these vertices. Actually, I could have done them both at the same time. And go back to Bezier Corner. Now sometimes you'll see here I can't seem to move up and down. Go back to the square and select it so that the entire square is selected. In other words, the X and Y is selected. And here I should be okay. Okay, good. So now all we need to do is finish off by extruding this element. So we'll go to extrude. Actually, we should get out of the sub-object vertex mode. Go to extrude. And so go to the front view. See what that looks like. There is no amount to my extrude yet. That's why I don't see anything. So let's try 2 inches. And it's not quite in the right place, so we'll have to move it a little bit. And I'll try to move it close to the cushion, yet I'll leave a little bit of room. And then adjust the amount so it's more in line with the sketch. And once I've finished doing an extrusion, I'll hold the Control key down. I'm in Select and Move, and I'll move this over to the other side. You see it's making a duplicate. And what I will do is select Instance, which allows a connection between these two elements. So there you have it. Those are the 2 techniques I wanted to show you to create this model. So what I'd like you to do for the rest of the tutorial is to complete the model using the techniques I've shown you. Now, one of the things, of course, that's important to do is to separate the 2 parts of your model on different layers. So I've made a chair cushion and a chair frame. So showing you here the chair cushion by itself, you can see the seat that we worked on together, and basically the back and the pillow here on top. The frame is also another element that you should work on. So if I just display here the frame, you can see that the element we worked on together is here, and there's another element which has been added there on both sides of the frame, and also a brace here at the strategic points along the frame of the chair. So go ahead and finish that off. That's our tutorial for today.